Aloha kako, ka'oho ka'alasito, aka KO, depending what region you're living in for your monetary amount of the day. Aloha kako. To my kanes out there in their 40s, blended families, divorced, remarried, or back in a relationship with another spouse or other half that has kids too, and maybe you have kids, welcome. I'm just like you, and that's who I like to talk to. Just getting off work on the H3 right now, headed to the west side to redo my machines. It's the end or the beginning of the month, aka the end of the month. Roughly in the same realm, right? Beginning of the month, end of last month. Got to get the machines serviced and then restocked and stuff. Just got off of work. I'm reminded of reading my book that I'm trying to finish up, which is The Psychology of Money. And there's a part there that I try to make a new habit where I'm like, okay, I want to read 10 pages a day, right, on a book. How many of you, by the way, acquire a new book, read maybe a couple chapters, and then kind of like, things happen, you put it aside, right? And then you tell yourself, okay, I'm going to get back to it. Well, this is one of those books. I had a couple books before I do the same thing as well too, but this is one of those books. So it's a new month, right? I'm trying to give myself a new habit. So I'm going to tell myself I want to read 10 pages a day, minimum. Make a new habit, right? Get started before the new year. Why we got to start when the new year starts? Start now. So anyways, I'm reading the book, and it starts talking about how about finances, obviously, and this is what I'm always wanting to talk to anybody about, is finances. Because in my opinion, finances is really integrated in everything in our lives. We need to know it. We need to know the basics of financing. And then another thing about financing, besides just knowing your numbers, is mentality. I'm a big proponent about that too, is you got to have a strong mental strength going on to persevere, because getting on a budget and getting back in, getting out of debt, building your emergency fund, all these things requires a very strong will, because there's going to be a lot of times right from the get-go that you're going to realize it's hard to do, and without a strong mind you're going to quit, and we don't want that. We don't want you to quit. I don't want you to quit. I'm the same way. Everything I'm preaching right here, I'm not a master at it. I would never ever claim that. But I will say that I know the basics. Anything higher than the basics, like, oh, would you invest in crypto, or would you do this kind of thing, or would you do that kind of thing, that's above basics. That's the stuff where, like, once you get the basics down, then you're going to venture into these new things that's going to add to your wealth. But I'm prior to that, I'm in the basics category. I want to keep it at the basics for everyone out there, because again, there's 80% of Americans, right? Whether you think you're an American or not, Hawaiians, you're still in this country, and you're still living by the rules, and you still use money. So you should learn this. The basics is what you should learn, as you can build it. Now, getting back to my point, building wealth provides options, provides choice. So a lot of times I hear a lot of family members and friends talk about, like, oh, I don't want to just talk about money. Like, oh, Kale, you just talk about money all the time. And again, yes, I do, but it doesn't make me I in no way feel guilty about it, and I know I'm not selfish, right? Because this is why I'm here. I'm talking with you guys about all this stuff because I feel like it's a very important thing. So building wealth is not to chase the dollar. It's to chase freedom. It's to have more options. Like when you have, I guess we could talk about having less options or being poor, right? Which is opposite of wealthy. Now everybody's gonna will always make their own opinions. Like, oh, I'm not poor. I have everything I need. Like I'm happy. Well, friend Ohana, you probably say that because there's no other options. So therefore, you will just fool yourself in saying, I'm content with what I have. You're content with what you have because there's no other options, because there's no wealth in your life. Wealth provides options, and if you don't have wealth, then you will be forced to adapt or to just be satisfied with whatever it is that you can afford, right? Like, we don't only want to eat junk food, but that's all we can afford. You ever notice how McDonald's are only in low-income housing areas, low-income neighborhoods, and it's $1 for any size soda? Because that's their market, is poor people. You ever seen Whole Foods in low-income housing areas? No, because they cannot afford it. You see private schools in low-income housing areas? No. They're more in areas that are a little bit more affordable, right? Same thing for medical insurance. Same thing for car insurance, life insurance. I mean, many other things that you can have more options to choose from when you have more money in your bank to pay for it. So yes, it provides options. And that's something that's very important, and we need to understand. Like, don't we feel like we are worth it? Shouldn't we feel like, what's the problem with that? What's the problem with feeling like you are worth a better life? You are worth it. You are to have a better life. I mean, you cannot say that it's owed to you. Like, I think that's now getting into a privilege mentality. Like, a lot of our people, Hawaiians, because I'm Kanaka, I've seen that they feel like they're owed a lot of stuff, like, and you're not even that generation that was like part of the overthrow. Like, our people were, our ancestors were, but we technically aren't. So why do you feel like we're owed stuff, But I feel like those that go and fight hard for it, and those that go and work hard for it, you deserve to reap what you sow. Because you go out and work hard for what you want and for what you feel like you want to have. I think there's a big difference there. So having wealth is important. Being poor sucks. And I'll say that because I was poor before. Like, I grew up in the homesteads of Waianae. We lived a basic life. I was never taught anything about finances. My parents never taught me much about finances. My mom even was a banker a few times at 2 different banks. And I honestly can say all that they told me about was, you need a checking account and you need a savings account. Okay. Because at the time I was making money with my lauhala weaving, so I was already in an entrepreneurial mindset at a young age. So I should have a place to put the money. Okay, I understand that. And you should learn how to balance a checkbook. For all you young kids, you might not know what that means. But balancing a checkbook, I can understand that, right? It's part of your finances. Also, it creates good habits. It's responsible. But really, the only other thing other than that was like, you need to set up an IRA. And the more you research and the more you do good with your finances and stuff, you will transition into that phase of retirement, saving for retirement, and that's what an IRA is. So I ended up acquiring a good job with City and County, and my dad, he was with the fire department, saying, hey, you got to start an IRA. You got to start putting money away little by little for your retirement. And I was 20 years old at the time. I was like, okay. I mean, I kind of didn't know that. I didn't know what that meant. I know what the word retirement means, but I didn't know how to get there. And being 20 years old, that was like way ahead of my time. Like, I never thought anything important of it. Which, by the way, I can see how a lot of the 20-year-olds nowadays think they freaking know everything. Because I was 20 years old, I thought I knew everything too. Like, I remember my uncle telling me, oh, you need to learn to live with less now. So that way you can live with more in the future. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever's, And I was like, I was working at 16, 17, making money. But nobody ever taught me about finances. Nobody taught me the importance of saving and even and for what to save for. The Psychology of Money too also, by the way, I'm not an affiliate of Psychology of Money. I just like to explain and share what I learned. But they say saving is a great habit. You don't even need to start saving for a reason. Just save. Because that's going to really hedge against any issues that will arise in your future that are unforeseen. And unless you can honestly say, and you would put money down, that you will have no problems in your future, then yeah, no need save then. But good luck. I would bet against that. I would double down against that bet, because nobody can guarantee that they'll have a problem-free future. No ways. Nobody can say that. But if you save, if you build a good foundation and you save, then that's going to hedge against those issues that come up. And when they do come, you'll be ready for it. It's very, very important. What kind of things do you, write in the comments, what kind of things do you recall, or where did you learn, I should say, where did you learn about anything about finances? What do you know about finances, and where did you learn it? I would really like to know. Speaking of like growing up and then like I said, a lot of my clients too, they're all like, man, I wish I learned this when I was younger. I wish I learned about finances when I was younger. So eventually you did learn about it. So where did you learn it? What age do you think you started knowing and being aware of finances? And what are you doing about it? Are you saving? Like right now, this is definitely a topic nobody wants to talk about, because we're getting into the holiday seasons now, right? You already spent a lot of money on food for Thanksgiving. Now Christmas is coming up, and I guarantee everybody's already looking to spend money on like stuff for family members and friends and other halves and stuff, and everybody's all about money. Like, look at these makeke markets coming up, these pop-ups, right? They're popping up everywhere. There was a Kaimuki one recently. I saw one in what looked like a CVS parking lot. Like all these pop-up tents, and then all these craft fairs coming up. Why do you think they have that? Because people want to make money. People want to spend money. You're either going to be making money, or you're going to spend money, or you're going to do both, But either way, money is really, really engulfed in everything. So why the hell are we not talking about it? We should talk about it. Comment to me. Comment in below. Of course, like and subscribe, please. I would really appreciate it. Comment to me anything that you want to talk about as far as money. Basic stuff. I'll definitely try my best to respond to every single comment that you guys do. So I'm curious. I really want to make talking about finances like more open. Let's be more open about talking about finances. And if you feel like you're one of those that are wanting to talk about finances, but you're also like me, who has family members that don't want to talk about finances, then I got you. Right here. Message me, Ka'ohu or Ko at Kanakapreneur, my stuff on YouTube. Like and subscribe. And then we can talk about all kinds of stuff. There's many people out there that are just like you, that want to talk about finances, and want to better their finances, just don't know where to go. Or they don't know who to talk to. A lot of people, they need like a support system, but they don't have that within their own lives. So they just feel like maybe they have there's no sense in even trying. So they just go with the flow. They go with the sheep. The sheep are poor. Don't go with the sheep. Be a wolf. Be a lone wolf. Do your thing. Go against the grain. You're not hurting anybody. The only thing you really be hurting is your family members and friends' mentality of you, their thoughts of you, because you're changing. When you change, you're changing what they are seeing you as. Right now, they see you as that person that they grew up with from childhood time, or that's little Jimmy, or that's Kalani from high school, or we always go smoke weed, or go drink, or go surf, or go play video games all the time, right? Life's chill, bro. Life is a beach, bro. Just cruise. No need to do nothing. I gotta go work. Oh yeah, I'll go work. I'll go work like some simple menial job. That's a no-brainer. That has no room for moving up. No benefits. No medical. No sick leave. None of that. You're just working a job just to get a paycheck. But that's not That's not doing you any justice. I mean, there's no, your comfortability level is too high where you don't have a fire in your butt to get better. But when you talk with KO, right? You talk on our YouTube stuff and you start posting stuff up and you allow me to want to engage with you and you engage back with me and we learn, then you are now upgrading yourself. That's a great thing. And when you upgrade yourself, you're going to start opening your minds up to things around you that you never saw before that makes you question, what the hell have I been doing all my life? You know, like, I'm already in my 40s, but all you young kids, you probably like think that your life is over because you're hitting your 30s. You know what I mean? Like, that's funny. Like, to me, in my 40s, I'll honestly say 40 is a new 20. Like, whatever you learn in your teens going into your 20s, it resets again from your 30s to your 40s. So your 20s, you go out and you party because you adult now, right? You go college, whatever, you learn how to drive, you have more freedom, right? And you party. And then you realize, man, 8 years went by and I showed nothing for it. I still living paycheck to paycheck. I still live with my parents. I never get my college degree. I went to like a couple colleges. I never finished them. I've wasted all this money. I bought a new car. And now it's like having some issues because it's about 5-7 years later, right? You don't take care of them. What do I have to show for it? Nothing. So now you're going to start seeing that you want to do a change, but you don't know how. And that's where your 30s come in, right? 30s, you're going to relive things again. Figure out how to do things better. Learn. And then when your 40s come, oh, brah, 40s. If you can set yourself up good for your 40s, it's fun. 40s is fun. That's when you tell everybody, I don't give a shit. I don't give a damn about anything, right? Which means that whatever new things you've learned, when people start questioning you or telling you can't do it or telling you it's not for you or whatever, or you're going to fail, that's where that I don't give a shit what you say comes in. Because I'm learning stuff, I'm seeing its results, and I'm doing it. And there's nothing wrong if they don't want to do it, you know, and it's not like you don't love them. It's shit, we're no longer going to allow them to hinder our progress of what our goals are now. Okay? I always want you to try to set up goals. Set up goals. Did you write out goals? You know, if you want to comment down below what kind of goals you have. Do you guys want to hear some of my goals? I have a few. One of my goals is with my claw machine business that within 2 years I want to put out 50 machines. Not 15, 50, 50. And that sounds kind of crazy, right? Within 2 years, I'm going to scale it up. And it's going to happen. That's going to involve me to do a lot of things. You know? Within 5 years, I would love for us to pay off our mortgage. We still got a lot left to go. That's going to be a lot of hard work. It's not going to be easy. And by then, I'm going to be retired. I'm still going to be working. But I'm going to be working on something that I want to work, you know? I want to travel. I want to travel once a year. But I want to pay cash for it. See, the traveling I want to do is a little different from what traveling everybody else wants to do. Yeah, they go travel, but you're paying it with money you don't have. You're paying it on credit or taking out a loan, you know? And that's no. That's no good. That's going to dig you deeper into debt. Oh, how's this one? I want to eventually get to that point where I can travel only first class. Only first class. And to one up that one, I would love to travel on a private jet. That's the only time we're going to travel. Me, Julia, and whoever who's coming with us, but on a private jet. Like, I want to get to that level where, like, I don't have to worry about waiting in line for TSA anymore. What is that TSA? You know, I don't have to want to worry about finding parking in a crowded parking structure at the airport, you know, because they're going to have their own parking lot. They're going to have their own lobby. We're just going to take a cart or walk to the jet. I can actually stand up and walk around or lay down in the jet. They'll have food exclusively for us, you know. That's what I want. That's the kind of goals I'm looking for. I'm not worried about any kind of fancy car or luxury vehicle. That's a liability to me. I don't need that. Yeah, those are some of the goals I want to go for. and I'm going to work hard for it. And here's a tip with goals. You need to take action. Okay? You need to give yourself a deadline of when those goals are going to be met. So that way you'll feel that need of urgency to hurry up, to get it done. And then here's the next step. Once you get your goals down and your date done, then we're going to do a reverse reverse engineering. Reverse engineer. So let's just say I want to get 50 machines done in 2 years. So I'm going to divide 50 by how many months, right? And then how many weeks? And then how many days? That kind of is reverse engineering in a nutshell. To where it's hard to think of 50 as a big number, but when you can figure out how many machines I'm going to get out per day, or how many machines per week, then it becomes a little bit more palatable. You can digest it a little bit better. And those are like the small goals, like how I posted it before. Don't focus on the touchdowns. Focus on the first downs. So those little one a week, that's like first downs. So if you can bust hard, get to the first down, bam, awesome. A little bit of a celebration, not too much. And then get back out there and do the next one. We got another first down looking forward to. Okay, and then the next first down. Because every time you hit your first downs, you will get to your touchdown. It will happen. And the touchdown for me is at 50 machines in 2 years. That's it. It's so simple. And that's it. That's what every goal you want to do. It's doable. But when you try to do it all one time on a big chunk, it's going to seem very intimidating. And like I said, you pair that up with a weak mind and you're going to quit. That's a recipe for quitting. And we don't want you to quit. I don't want you to quit. I want you to at least do something simple, like write a goal down, look at it every day, make a like a goal board, a vision board, you know, like print out pictures of it, and then put it on a big poster board that you can see every day, right? Anything that you want on your vision board. Steve Harvey says, if your goals or your dreams don't scare you a little, then it's not big enough. And to me, when I first said I want 50 machines within 2 years, that was kind of, I hesitated a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I hesitated a little bit. But then when I read that in the Psychology of Money, when it says your goals need to be big enough for you to be scared, then I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be scared of that anymore. I'm on the right track. I'm on the right track. So I put on my vision board. I call it 50 in 2. 50 in 2. Which is good because like just today I'm learning a little bit more about machines, a little bit more and more and more. Like I'm learning about the credit card reader on it. And I'm learning about like better ways to purchase toys for it. I also want to learn about the mechanics of it, right? It's not a lot of mechanics. It looks intimidating when you open it up, but realistically it's not a lot, you know? Like I don't want to be intimidated by it, because if we can know in and out your product and your service that you provide, then anytime, because we're still going to have to do more pitching, right, to businesses, then anytime I have questions, boom, ready to go with the answer. Sharp as a tack, energetic. You have that essence about you that you know exactly everything about your product, and you're the go-to person to ask questions for. That's what you have to do. That's what I'm learning. Again, everything I'm telling you, I didn't know about this. I didn't know about this 5 years ago. I'm learning about it step by step, day by day. Anytime I have free time, I want to put it into either reading a book or learning about YouTube or going on, like, I admit I scroll on Facebook and Instagram, but I'm not scrolling for mindless entertainment. I'm scrolling for like things like investment opportunities, or money-making opportunities, or inspirational videos or books or people, entrepreneurship stuff, real estate stuff. Like that's what my algorithms are. That's why I'm always constantly scrolling. If I see stuff like people trying to give me like a 10-minute story, move on. Or I hear people like, oh, they broke up with what's up, move on. Even food, over it, move on. You know, like all that stuff is liabilities to me. Luxury car, oh, this and that, move on. Maybe after I make my monies, then yeah, my wealth, then I'll look into that, because there might be something, and I'm still gonna make sure it's in my budget to do. I'm not just gonna frivolously buy it because I got a good check or I got a good quarter that was done with our business. No, that's the only way you can build wealth. And then of course after that, the hardest part is to maintain that wealth. You know, that's the kind of stuff that has to be openly talked about. So talk with me about it if you have ideas about that. Comment down below. What are some crazy ideas you had? What are some like childhood entrepreneurial stuff you did? Like, did you sell shave ice or Girl Scout cookies or whatever? I mean, back in the day, I did stuff with my hands. So like, you know those plastic strings where you can make keychains, right? The braids. I used to do that and sell that, and then make earrings out of those. You know, like all kind of different ways to see if it can be sold, to make an income, so that way I can support myself with whatever things I want. Like, hey, parents, you get kids, right? Obviously, if you're a parent. So how do you deal with when they ask you for stuff? Mom, I want this. Hey, Dad, I can have this. Or whatever's, you know. What do you say? Do you say yeah and you just get them anything they want? Do you say no and they don't get anything? Do you bargain with them? You know, like my daughter, I won't say I'm 100%. I'm definitely trying to train myself, and I'm only being real, is that I want her to, and I am setting her up to, make her own money, so that way, whenever she wants something and she has the money for it, that's the rule. If she wants something and she has the money for it, who am I to say no? You know, who am I to say no? Unless it's something that's like unreasonable, like, you know, like, for example, a tattoo. Like, I don't want her to get a tattoo until she's an adult. When she's an adult, she can do what she like, and she's gonna pay for it herself. So if we want them to pay for themselves, like eventually when they become adults, unless you're gonna baby them for the rest of their life, and if you have more than one kid and you're gonna baby every single kid for the rest of their life, woo, man, I hope you got a good job. I hope you're ready to work for the rest of your life forever, because you're not gonna teach them anything good if you're always gonna be giving them what they want. Anybody agree with that? And if you do agree, do you still give them what they want? Or is your brain churning to see if you're going to do some changes around the house? I don't know. Who knows? But don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid to try things. You know, nothing's set in stone. I just saw Moana 2 the other day with my daughter, and what was that? Not to do any spoilers, but there's a character in there that taught Moana that there's always another way. There's always another way. Don't think that only what you learned growing up and what society taught you and what your family taught you is the only way. No. There's always another way. There's always a plan B, a plan C, always. You have to create it for yourself. You have to learn. Stop wasting your time scrolling mindlessly on social media. Stop wasting your time only going on Netflix. Go on YouTube, learn something new, read a book, listen to a podcast, elevate your mind, elevate your skills. Okay? Create a business, make more income, build wealth, hammer down your debt. You know, watch your spending, increase your savings. All these things everyone can do. And you do that, even if you don't do it right in the beginning, but you keep with it, you're going to learn to get better, and it's going to get easier. You're going to build wealth. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And then me and you, we go on that private jet ride to wherever it is in the world. It sounds so much fun, huh? All right. I'm headed through Maili right now. I'm almost there. So I'm going to let you guys go. What is some goals that you going to write down? Write down a goal. I told this to you before in episode 1. Write down a goal. Okay? Write down a date for that goal to be done. And you know what? Even if you don't make it, that's okay. It's no problem. But let's not say that. We're going to make it. Right? You're going to make it till you win. So write down a goal. Write down the date when you can do it. And then try your best to reverse engineer how you're going to make that goal happen. You know, let's try get our minds focusing on good stuff, like your like the results, you know. That's fun stuff right there. I like that. You know, dreaming is great. Okay. Remember, I believe in you. Anybody can do this. I'm going to keep putting these messages out, and I want you guys to, you know, help me out, like and subscribe, and I'll really appreciate it. Put your name out there. Let's talk story. Ka'ohu o ka'alasito, aka KO, depending what region you're living in, for your monetary mana'o of the day. You guys have a great day. Aloha.